one. Good morning, Blissed Out community. A little bit of music in the background. Creativity, music, and wellness at its best with your host, Leanne Campbell. I'm enjoying a deeper light. Again, this song has not stopped on my journey with going deeper and deeper and deeper and rising in love. That's David Premo, Mitten with Minnows, some of our favorite community conscious leaders with music. So today I have a new friend on the other side of the screen. Peter Back is out in Sweden. Welcome to the show, Peter.
Thank you very much.
So I've been looking for sustainability projects since I started Blissed Out Network, and since I've been a huge part of Conscious Living Radio. I've been influenced by Andrew Resmer. If you're watching, I salute you, my brother company, and I am so grateful that we can be on this quest to ask and it's given, right? So we talk about teaching all these modalities about how to get connected to ourselves, how to get peaceful, and then how to receive. You know, I was scrolling through Facebook and I kept seeing these domes and I kept seeing these things on community posts about amazing things that are about sustainable living. And I reached out to Peter. I've been getting to know him for a couple weeks. A very powerful connection of alignment with amazing things that Blissed Out stands for, our community stands for out here in BC, and integrating these wonderful co-creations out in Sweden with Peter and his story. So that is my intro about how this is all happening for us and why it's important for me to share sustainable living is because now is the time for change, climate action, the changes that are going on with what we know about COVID and where everybody is financially, and all of the breakthroughs that we need to make business-wise and really transform our lives. So getting to know Peter, I've realized that he has been transforming not only himself, but a lot of wonderful businesses out in Sweden. He's got a global vision, international vision, with many things. So in this episode, we'll have more episodes with Peter. We will be going a little bit into his story, a little bit about eco business, what that all means, love in action, and pure love in action also. So Peter, tell us a little bit about where you're born, a little bit about your childhood and what brought you to this path, because I think going down to the roots of why you are the way that you are and what brought you to eco business.
My name is Peter Beck, and I am 54 years old. And I was adopted to Sweden from South Korea when I was 3 years old. And I have been a business consultant for big global companies. And I also work for big companies like Dell Computers, and also coming in and worked for banking system. The last 20 years, I have mostly been consultant or entrepreneur for different business projects. And I'm also training. I come from a martial art background since I was 14 years old. So I trained quite frequently until I was 40 physically. And from 40 until now, 14 years, I have cultivated my inner training. And a lot of masters and people talk about a better future, a better world. I speak now that it's time to make it happen. This is the first time in the mankind history we really can make it happen, to close the gap.
That's actually, you know, a lot of people that are watching can hear the profoundness in some of the words that he's saying. You know, Lord Buddha taught us about the gap. I think one of the greatest minds and greatest enlightened beings taught us about, you know, the gap between the breath is what allowed us to come into alignment. So Peter, I think what can be more broadened in what we can do with that question is help people understand, you know, how to close that gap and like the speed of light from your training, the business concepts that you've created that can help the earth with eco business, because it's some of the things I'm getting to know about you, and really nourish those people that are on the path, understanding the gap on how to transform their energy, because I think you have a master key for this. So tell us a little bit about the eco business.
To be really mastering something, anything in life, like singing, dancing, or music, or changing the world, you really need some basic elements. You need to be devoted, dedicated, skilled, experienced, bold, have a vision, determination. When you put that all together in one, then you can co-create with other creators. So I have developed from vision to reality system, step by step, to close the gap. Yes.
And so that is the eco business. What are you doing with that?
With that system, you can close any gap. But the world and the earth need more awareness and knowledge about eco living, eco business. So to manifest and to make it happen, I show in the philosophy, theory, practical, and in an action plan how to make it happen. Because I see there's a lot of good ideas out there in the world, but few who really can guide and tell what to do in every moment. So you need to systemize it in a global and a local scale. So that's my role.
That's your role that you've done with other business as being a consultant. But now that you're creating this eco business, what are your plans? Is it like the dome projects that you have, or like the ability to share,
the dome projects is just a manifestation, so people can have some tools and understanding what I really speak about. Because if I only speak theory or philosophy, it's hard for people to follow and understand what I really speak about. So I use tools to teach and guide, so people can get own experience about it in realizations.
Okay, so you're leading people to close the gap in their life with connecting to themselves or connecting to their business?
To connect to everything. Because business is a manifestation of yourself. It's nothing outside you, it's inside you. So with awareness and understanding and reflections, you can co-create anything and master it.
And what style or techniques are you using? Are you using stuff that you've learned or stuff that you're evolving through with closing the gap?
You need a systematic way to do it. So it's like basic training, learn to earn, learn to share, and learn to give. So it's a whole system of love in actions I speak about. But on this earth, we also need to make a living. So I combine that for personal growth and business growth and world growth. So I combine them all together.
That's powerful. It's very powerful. So your vision about the eco business, how is that helping each other? When people come together, are you seeing people living together doing this that are your students? Are you seeing this just globally as an offering for change?
There is no forms, only improvements. So there is, it can be done from distance by sharing, for example, knowledge and experience and connections. or it can be co-created in a society physically. So this can be first you start with exchange.
Interesting. Okay, so tell me a little bit about some of the things that we have spoke about. Okay, so the masters have left a gap that you now are concluding that you're closing the gap. This you feel is your life purpose?
Yes, it needs to be specific in a specific project. I show first principles, how to use the principles, and then it can be then, of course, adjusted to specific project.
So love and action are the principles.
Love in action is the principles, but it's also need on earth to be pragmatic daily training to make it happen. So how to utilize the tools for it. Because we all have blockage and forms in our heads, and they need to be first released before we can download universal principles I speak about.
Okay. Okay, so now that we're hearing all of these amazing things, what are the things that you're doing right now out in Sweden? Like, how are you becoming active there, and how long have you been active out there?
I have been on mission the last 15 years globally.
Okay.
And now people get more joining. There are people in Cyprus who have a community there. There are people here in Sweden, in Greece, in America, in Sri Lanka, in China who are involved in participating to contribute to a better world. So this is a co-creation.
So I guess we have to bring you out here to BC and share you with our BC community.
It is not to be specific, you know. I teach principles and then I show detail depending on what's. I'm like a dance teacher, you know. The dance can only flow in the moment of now.
Very nice. Well, I don't know how much more you want to go into detail, because I feel like it's so powerful how much you can say in such a short period of time. I think that there's a lot to interact with what love in action is, and then seeing some of the action in the methodologies that you teach. So, is there martial arts involved?
There is everything involved. Old insights, awareness, skills, principles. So this can only be taught in that moment it happens. So there is no fixed forms or no fixed traditions, because then it's just pre-made answers. So this is in the flow of now, it happens.
Well, I really appreciate all of that amazing stuff. We'd love to have you out in BC. We're inviting you out here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that, you know, the things I've seen that you're doing, I'm highly interested in creating a community out here with a bunch of little houses and a really nice meditation center in the center, because of 25 years personally that I've been doing meditation. I see that there is, my personal experience, you know, reflecting with you, is that it's always been in the moment, but people are constantly changing, right? So I thought, you know, a place where we would have retreats would be even easier, because a lot of these practices people need to apply to their own life and they have to go through their own process. So I feel what would be really super duper would be somewhere up north, a land where we could start with small, you know, retreats, meditation center, really good vegan options to cleanse the body, to get back into, you know, just listening to the body with what the body actually wants to eat versus over accumulating food, and yeah, getting back to the basics. So that's kind of where I am. I think it'd be great to have you out here to do something like that. I think you have the ability to do that out in BC. And our community that's watching, add Peter back, keep watching his posts, keep watching the things that he's doing. If he's in the now and you feel it in the now, reach out, say hi, let him know somehow in the now what you're feeling and if you're interested. And likewise, connect with me. You can direct message me if you have any questions about this amazing ongoing connection and the growth of sustainability projects coming to BC and what he's doing internationally. So I thank you so much for your time. I think like you can say a lot in a very short period of time that you fill the cup really fast. I think that's the whole idea of you filling gaps is like you have answers and they're right on it. They're right on it. They're right on it. And it actually leads me to becoming questionless. Like there's really nothing I have to ask anymore. So I feel like that's where the answers all lie is, when you meet somebody and they just fill in that gap. So I salute you for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're so excited to be blessed by the gifts of Sweden in your life. And we're looking forward to hearing more soon.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So good to be with you, Peter. A little bit more music.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your day.
Bye.